Hi, you guys asked for it, and here is the cake recipe that will make any chocolate lover in your life so happy. It's my chocolate chip Kahlua cake. Now, real quick note, if you do not want to use Kahlua, you're not comfortable having alcohol in a cake mix, you can very easily substitute chocolate syrup for the Kahlua. So just wanted to put it out there. Also, this cake is also good made with bourbon. It tastes a lot stronger with bourbon though. The Kahlua, because it's more of kind of a chocolatey, coffee-ish flavor, it kind of blends right into the chocolate of this cake, and I think just really more ups the flavor of the chocolate rather than making the cake taste alcoholic at all. So, but if you add the bourbon, it does taste like alcohol. Let me tell you what you're gonna need. You'll need a cake mix. This is a devil's food cake mix. This just happens to be Pillsbury brand because it was on sale. I got this for like $1 or something, but you can use any brand. And one of my subscribers, Leanne S., she commented on my last cake video, the sherry wine cake, that she had to use a gluten-free cake mix. Her husband has celiac disease, so he can't have anything with any gluten in it. And she said that the gluten-free cake mixes are pricier than regulars. They're like $5, I guess, instead of being able to get one for $1. But she said the cake turned out fantastic. So that's great to know. So any of you gluten-free folks out there, just substitute your cake mix. All right. We also need a 3.4 ounce instant vanilla pudding. You could buy any brand. It doesn't have to be Jello brand. You will need 3 eggs, Kahlua, vegetable oil. Yes, I know this recipe by heart because I've been making it for so long. Again, this is one of those ones I've been making forever. 16 ounces of sour cream. I have used light before and it works just as well. This just happens to be regular because that's what Steve picked up when he went to the store. And I've also, once in a pinch, I didn't have sour cream, but I had plain yogurt, and that worked really fine too. But I think that the sour cream was a little bit just kind of richer than the yogurt. But if you're trying to be super healthy, just a thought. You will also need some chocolate chips. I have the giant Costco bag here, but what you're going to need is just, I think it's 16 ounces that's in a normal bag. And I've done this with white chocolate chips also, and it turns out really good. So you can get creative with this here. The other thing you'll need is cooking spray. For this kind of a recipe, especially with the chocolate chips in it, which tend to get sticky, I use this. This is the Pam, and it has the flour in it. So when you spray it on, it's coating it a little differently than when you use just regular Pam. I found over the years, it just makes the cakes pop out of the pans more easily. You'll need a Bundt pan. I happen to use this one. I have like 20 different Bundt pans probably, so I brought a couple others out to show you. But you can use the plain kind where it's just, I should grab my, well, I've got a plain one too. But you can make these also into cupcakes, you know, mini buns, you know, whatever you want. But generally, just toss it in Bundt pans, super easy. I also have a couple others like I thought that were fun. I just pulled out. This one is, you know, great for around the holidays because it's got, you know, the pine trees and it looks like a little snow castle. So dusted with powdered sugar. This is really great. Oh, you will need powdered sugar also to put on this at the very end. And then I also have this one. This one's really fun because it's turkeys. So when you've made the 2 halves, then you just, you know, trim the tops off. Oops, sorry about that. Loud bonk, wake you up, huh? So then you just trim the tops off, and then you kind of stick it together with some frosting, and then you have a little turkey guy that stands up and you can put out as a cake, and it's really fun. So I'll have to kind of, as I do these videos, I'll kind of try to go through my collection of these pans. But let's get started. Seriously, it's this easy. So dump in your cake mix, dump in your pudding, crack the eggs, come on, Eggie. Don't you hate when the egg white just sticks forever? Now I have my oven preheating at 350. I'm going to go ahead and add a 1/3 cup of the vegetable oil. And just so you know, the reason there's so little vegetable oil in this particular recipe is because you're adding the sour cream, which adds more moisture to it. Use a 1/2 cup of the Kahlua. Now with the Kahlua, when you add that in, again, you can substitute in a 1/2 cup of chocolate syrup instead, or bourbon, or liqueur of your choice. But just so you know, other than Kahlua, or if you had like a Godiva liqueur or something like that, The other alcohols will make it taste stronger of alcohol. The chocolatey liqueurs like the Kahlua and others really just make it taste more chocolatey. They kind of enhance, like when you add a little bit of coffee to brownies, sometimes people will put some coffee into it to enhance the chocolate flavor. That's what it does. So this does not taste like a really alcoholic cake at all. Now that we have those ingredients in, we're going to go ahead and mix it up, and probably for about 2 minutes. I use this mixer, but you can certainly use a hand mixer. It works just fine. So I'm going to get this mixing and be right back to fold in our sour cream and our chocolate chips. So I'm done mixing this now, and I just want to show you, I'll put this up close here. The cake mix has changed from kind of the darker, oops, don't drip, from kind of a darker color here. That's what it was like when I first started the mixer. And then when you're done mixing, it turns kind of a lighter brown like this. So it's kind of fluffy and it's very thick. So now what I'm going to do is add in the sour cream. Now you can fold it in with a spatula, just, if you're doing it by hand, or, I found that it works just fine using the mixer. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my 16 ounces of sour cream, light or regular, and again, I have also done this with yogurt before, but I prefer the sour cream. This makes a great little place to put the spatula while you're still working here. So now I'll just mix this in, and it's just, like a minute or so till it's really kind of combined. Okay, it's all mixed up, so now what I'm going to do is just scrape the sides to make sure that it's really, gotten mixed in well. And next we will add our chocolate chips. So if you're not using just the regular bag that you buy at the grocery store and you have a big Costco bag, it's 2 cups of chocolate chips. And here's the second one. And now I'm just going to really briefly mix this so they get combined in. I just do it on really low. That's it. And the batter is done. So this is what it looks like. It's very thick. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And now I'm just going to put it into my pan. I have sprayed it with the Pan with Flour cooking spray. Whoops. I think next I'm going to shoot a couple pancake recipes for you. One is super, super simple. Well, they're both simple. One just takes a little longer. Neither of them are difficult. But one you have to whip egg whites for, so that takes a little bit longer. But I'm going to do those next for cooking videos. Now I'm just going to evenly distribute this into my pan, because it's so thick it's not going to just spread out like the sherry wine cake did. Whoa. Now this one you're going to be baking for 50 minutes, and it might seem a little bit jiggly when you take it out in the middle. So as long as you follow the recipe, in terms of the ingredients correctly, it'll be fine. It's just very, very moist, so it might seem a tiny bit jiggly when you take it out. And I'll show you when I take mine out of the oven if it's doing it. It sometimes does it more than others. I don't know why. Probably, I've read that a lot of times, depending on kind of the temperature of your house and the humidity, that, things turn out a little bit differently. Nobody around to try to steal the bowl to lick. Oh, one thing with this cake, make sure when you take it out of the oven, you really, within 10 to 15 minutes, after it's cooled a bit, you do take it and put it onto another plate. The worst thing is when you forget about it and it really kind of cools off completely in this pan, and the chocolate chips have stuck themselves to the side, and then you get a cake that looks like it has chicken pox because it has little, marks where the chocolate chip has stuck to the pan and it has little holes, so not fun. So there it is, ready to go into the oven. So I'll put this in for 50 minutes and then we'll take it out and see what it looks like. The cake is all done and I'm about to take it out. This is what it looks like, and it will shrink down a bit in size. So let me show you what I meant about the cake being a little jiggly when you take it out. I'm bring this over here. So see how it kind of has a bit of wobble to it? That is okay. It's just super duper moist. So I'm gonna let this cool for about 10 minutes or so. Then I'm going to carefully put it onto a plate, We'll throw our powdered sugar on and it's done. It's that easy, and people just go nuts for this cake. It is such a crowd pleaser. As you can see, the cake has gone down a lot. It's not as tall as it was when we first took it out of the oven. So I'm going to now just carefully take this spatula and I'm going to kind of just push the cake away. Oh shoot, you can't see this. Let me tilt this down more. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to just slightly push the sides away, just so in case they've stuck out. This is still hot. And it's really a fine balance. You should wait longer to take your cake out of the pan, but like I said, if those chocolate chips stick, then it looks kind of weird and it's hard to get out and all that. So I'm going to put it onto this cake stand today. So I flip it over. Oh, and if for some reason you need it to be really flat, you can just take a knife, like a big serrated knife, and trim this off. A cake decorating class I took a long time ago, and I'm not good at cake decorating, I just kind of took this one at the community center. She said the most, get my hands around this, she said that you could even use dental floss that's not minty to cut through your cake. All right, so there we go. Hopefully this will come out okay. Sometimes I can't use the big one of these, so I can't get my nails under. Oh yes, yay! And it has come out. I have just lost a little bit. See, there are always some little holes from where the chocolate chips were, if you can see that. But as they cool more, they grab bigger hunks of cake, and then they are giant pieces. Now, I have lost a tiny bit of the cake, got stuck inside, but luckily it's the inside. So I'm just going to, oh, got that beeper still going. I thought I turned that off. One sec. So I removed that little extra piece. It was just, you know, like that kind of a piece. And then I just stuck it in, and it's still hot and moist enough that when I powdered sugar it, you will never know. Let me show this to you up close. So there's the cake. And whoa, that would have been bad. So there's the inside that I patched right there. So I will let this cool, and then we will put powdered sugar on it, and then we'll be ready to eat. So the last step is to just sprinkle it with powdered sugar. You don't really need a lot. And one other thing, if you ever take this somewhere and you have it covered, no, you can't have any. The dog's sitting here going woof woof. Scout, no. Oh my God. Anyway, he never barks. No. Anyway, if you ever go somewhere and for some reason in transport, the powdered sugar has kind of sunk in a little bit, it's not looking really fresh anymore, just bring, whoa, dog! Oh, Danielle's here, by the way. She like smelled it and came running down. She seemed to know. So she's sitting here staring at the cake right now. Anyhow, but what I was going to say was just bring a little extra powdered sugar and your sifter with you, and then you can easily just touch it up really quick before you serve it. So that really is something that's good to know, because every once in a while maybe you had it in the car and maybe the sun shone on it, and sometimes your powdered sugar might start looking kind of, you know, it looks yellow because it's soaked into the cake.
Is this why you woke me up this morning getting the thing?
Dad, I didn't really wake you. Yeah. This is why. Aren't you glad now?
Yeah.
I woke you.
It's worth it.
Anyway. So what I was trying to say is bring some extra powdered sugar and your sifty thing in case you think you're going to be in a position where your cake might get kind of, you know, messed up or be in the sun too much, or, you know, just maybe it's still a little bit warm, because that will totally suck it in and it won't look as nice. It'll still taste great, but anyhow, so here is the cake all done, and everybody loves the cake, so I'd love to know what you think of it. And I also have my sherry wine cake recipe that's actually our all-time favorite, even a little bit more than this. But no, pretty well tied, Danielle? Okay. Well, it's as good. How's that? And I'm also going to do 2 different pancake recipes that'll be coming up. The sherry wine cake is already out and on my channel, so I'll put up the pancake ones next as soon as I film them. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great day or evening wherever you are. And Danielle is already stealing the cake away. Give you a knife? Okay. Bye.